The piece I chose is from William Faulkner's short story, A Rose for Emily. First published in 1930, the story follows the life of Miss Emily Garrison, a woman in a southern town who becomes isolated from the world around her. The townspeople watch her life from the outside, gossiping about her choices, and only after her death do they uncover the shocking truth she has been hiding. I chose this story because I've always been drawn to works that explore human isolation, secrets, and how appearances can hide darker realities. The passage I'll read from is from the second half of the story, leading to the ending where the townspeople finally step inside Emily's house and discover what she's been keeping locked away for years. When her father died, it got about that the house was all that was left to her, and in a way, people were glad. Being left alone and a pauper, she had become humanized. Now she too would know the old thrill and the old despair of a penny, more or less. The day after his death, all the ladies prepared to call at the house and offer condolence and aid, as is our custom. Miss Emily met them at the door, dressed as usual, and with no trace of grief on her face. She told them that her father was not dead. She did that for 3 days, with the ministers calling on her and the doctors, trying to persuade her to let them dispose of the body. Just as they were about to resort to law and force, she broke down, and they buried her father quickly. We remembered all the young men her father had driven away, and we knew that with nothing left, she would cling to that which had robbed her, as people will. After her father's death, she went out very little. After her sweetheart went away, people hardly saw her at all. For a time, she gave painting lessons in China to the daughters and granddaughters of Colonel Sartoris. Then the newer generation grew up and the classes were discontinued. When the town got the free mail service, only Miss Emily refused to let them fasten a mailbox to her door. Then there was Homer Barron, a Yankee, a big, dark, tall, ready man with a big voice and eyes lighter than his face. The town began to talk when he was seen driving about on Sunday afternoons with Emily in the yellow-wheeled buggy. Poor Emily, the whisper went. Her kinfolk should really come to see her. At first, people were glad she had an interest. Then they were glad she would marry, glad she would at last escape the house. We learned that she had been to the jeweler's and ordered a man's toilet set in silver, with the letters HB on each piece. 2 days later, we learned that she had bought a complete outfit of men's clothing, including a nightshirt. So the town thought she was to be married, but Homer himself had a remark. He liked men, and he said he was not a marrying man. Then he was gone, and soon after Miss Emily shut her door. From that time on, she was seen very little. She grew fat, and her hair turned a steely gray. A new generation rose in town, and the old ones passed away. But still, her house stood stubborn, decaying, untouched. She no longer went out. Only the manservant was seen, moving with his tray or his market basket. And then at last, Miss Emily died. The whole town went to her funeral. The men threw a sort of respectful affection for a fallen monument. The women, mostly out of curiosity. The Negro manservant admitted them at the door with his silent, gray face, and then disappeared through the back. He was not seen again. The house smelled of dust and disuse, a close, dank smell. A thin pall lay upon the air, as if the house itself had been sealed for the grave. After the service, they forced open a door that had been closed for 40 years. A thin, acrid dust rose about them, as if from a long, sealed tomb. The room was decked and furnished for a bridal. The rose-shaded lights, the curtains of faded rose, the man's toilet things on the dresser, the suit folded on a chair, the shoes beneath it. And there stretched upon the bed lay the body of a man. What was left of him had once been Homer Barron. For a long while we stood there, gazing at the profound and fleshless grin. The body had apparently once lain in the bed, and then, for a long while, someone had lain beside it. We noticed that in the second pillow was the indentation of a head. And then we saw upon the pillow a long strand of iron gray hair. Thank you.